In this video, we'll take an early look at the 2024 Week 1 main slate on FanDuel, focusing on wide receivers. We'll let you know which one's the target coming up next. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee with the Fantasy Football Consultants. I cannot wait for Week 1 in the NFL. We have been busy in the preseason doing shows breaking down both FanDuel and DraftKings deep dives in Week 1 for quarterbacks, running backs, and tight ends. This show is all about wide receivers. If you want to see any of the other shows, links to that when those shows are available will be in the description. All right, everybody. I can ask for you to do a few things to help support the show. Go down into the comment section and please type in your favorite Week 1 wide receiver with FanDuel pricing and tell us why. And then smash that like button and then hit the red subscriber button followed by the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future content. All right, let's go to the studio and check out these receivers. All right, everybody. Because FanDuel added to the main slate the Sunday night game, I don't think there's any question that we are blessed with all the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, all on the main slate. Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Chase, Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. But I am telling you, look at the effect of inflation in this day and age. The price you have to pay, $8,900 to $9,600. I love Tyreek Hill. I think he's in a great shootout game, but $9,600. I mean, we all need to decide where our limit is. And if you can make that work, more power to you. But I'm going to focus on guys that I think that provide really good value for their price. And the first guy I want to hit is Mike Evans. So if you haven't heard, the results are in. Baker Mayfield's favorite target is Mike Evans. He hits Mike Evans with deep throws. 8 of the 13 touchdowns that Mike Evans got last year occurred outside the red zone. And then when they get close inside the 10, no one gets more passes thrown to them on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers than Mike Evans. And throw all that good news in with the fact that he faces the Washington Commanders in Week 1. An absolutely dreadful pass defense last year. Look what they did against wide receivers. 31st. So I think this is a great spot for Mike Evans. I kind of like Devante Adams here, who also has a really good matchup against the Chargers last year. Really struggled against wide receivers. As long as you can tell me one thing, besides that, of course, that Adams is healthy, tell me that his quarterback is going to be Gardner Minshew. Then I am all in on Devante Adams on FanDuel at a really good price of $7,500. I mean, Adams is still capable of giving you premier number 1 wide receiver stats, and given his matchup and given Minshew's ability just to start slinging it all over the place, I like Adams here. Other options. You got Jalen Waddle. If Tyreek Hill was too expensive at $9,600, you can save $2,400 and go with Jalen Waddle. Is Jalen Waddle Hill? Of course not. But he's still a solid guy. If you take away the 3.5 games that he missed due to injury, he averaged 75 yards last year per game. That is very good. And now you get him at the beginning of the year when this Miami offense is normally strongest. Hot weather, at home against a Jacksonville team, which is supposed to be a shootout. This is the highest game on the slate other than the Sunday night game with Detroit and the LA Rams. So I'm okay if you would like to go with Jalen Waddle. I see Nico Collins here at 7,100. I'm a pass on this one. I need to wait and see the effect of bringing in Stephon Diggs. So let's just kind of wait and see with that one. but I am a let's go with Cooper Kupp. So either you are a Kupp guy or a Puka Nacua guy, and I am a Kupp guy. Do you guys realize that last year in the games in which both players were healthy, that's 13 games. That's not a small sample size. Puka Nacua only got 7 more passes than Cooper Kupp. And when they get into the red zone, that's Cooper Kupp's zone. He's going to be the guy that's targeted the most there. So am I saying Cooper Kupp is better than Puka Nacua? No, but am I saying that is it a bargain to get him at $1,400 less? Absolutely. And look, he faces the Lions that have a decent ranked defense, but they're absolutely horrible against wide receivers last year. Dead last. So I really like Cooper Kupp for a reasonable price of $7,000. Chris Olave's not a bad option. Here, he faces a Carolina team that actually has done well against wide receivers. A little misleading because they were the worst team in football last year, only got 2 wins. So what happened was a lot of teams got way up on them, so they passed less to their wide receivers later in the game. So I think that sometimes stats can be misleading. And this is not supposed to be a blowout game. I think New Orleans is only a 4.5-point favorite. So I'm okay if you want to go with Chris Olave here. DK Metcalf, you've got to expect if you're going to play Metcalf that the Seahawks have a bounce back year. He's intriguing, especially in GPP play because of his size and his speed. He has the ability to break things open, and he's at home facing a Denver Bronco pass defense that wasn't good last year. So I'm not mad at you if you want to go with DK Metcalf. Here's an intriguing pick at $6,700, Drake London. You look at the game log, and I think more or less you're going to be disappointed. But remember, those stats were with, let's just be nice, subpar QBs in a run-oriented offense. Now we've got a new coaching staff, and we've got a lot of money to bring in Kirk Cousins. There's no question the best talent when it comes to receivers on this team is Drake London. So I'm hoping with the value of Cousins and his effect on this new offense that London will be the beneficiary. And you can get this price when he's really priced like he was last year at $6,700. Keenan Allen's a little scary to me, not knowing what his role is going to be on Chicago in week 1 with a rookie, granted a great rookie quarterback. DJ Moore was outstanding last year. So is Keenan Allen take over the number 1 role, or is he going to be playing second fiddle? If not third fiddle, since they have a really good rookie in Odunze. So I'm going to do a wait and see because I don't know if he's going to be the number 1 option. I do know the next guy is going to be the number 1 option in Amari Cooper, playing here with the Cleveland Browns against the Dallas Cowboys. One of the things to note about Amari Cooper is he has a tremendous rapport with Deshaun Watson, who should be playing in week 1. So let me give you the stats. In the 5 full games with Deshaun Watson, he averaged over 5.5 receptions a game for 96 yards. That's an average. So that's pretty darn good. In those 5 games, he did have 2 TDs. He's a tremendous downfield threat, averaging 17.5 yards per reception. That is the 3rd best among all wide receivers who've caught 50 passes. But look, here's the big thing of why I like Amari Cooper in this match. Nick Chubb is definitely going to be out for several games, but certainly in week 1. I think the Browns come out because of that and pass more than they otherwise would. That's going to help Amari Cooper. And this price is just ridiculously low. So I like it at $6,600. Not as big a fan of Michael Pittman. You get a guy that's going to be the clear number 1 wide receiver. But here's the problem. It is a small sample size, but just in the 4 games that he was playing with Anthony Richardson, he didn't do really well, not as well as he did in the other games. So I am shying a little away from Michael Pittman. Marvin Harrison is an intriguing pick. He's going to be immediately the number 1 wide receiver option for a rejuvenized, I think, Kyler Murray. The problem is he's a rookie and he's playing in Buffalo. I may have to pass on that one. George Pickens is an interesting option, but only if I got 2 caveats. One, that the starting quarterback is not Justin Fields. Instead, it is Russell Wilson, who I think has a better arm. And that it stays the fact that George Pickens is the clear guy to throw to on this team. Remember, Deontay Johnson is gone. So right now, they don't have another option. I say right now because there's all type of rumors swirling as I record this that a trade is imminent to bring Brandon Ayuk from the Niners to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that's the case, I'm no longer interested in George Pickens for week 1 if someone like a Brandon Ayuk is brought in and is active for week 1. So other interesting names, Malik Neighbors, I think the newly drafted wide receiver for the Giants will immediately become the number 1 wide receiver, I think, from day 1. The problem is, do you trust Daniel Jones? And will Daniel Jones be able to get him the ball? I'm going to want to do a wait and see on that one. But here's why I don't need to wait and see. I don't need to wonder. I believe Christian Kirk is going to be the number 1 wide receiver, and he's playing with a far better quarterback than Daniel Jones in Trevor Lawrence in a great game script. Look, this is the second highest scoring game on the main slate for FanDuel. This Jacksonville-Miami game should be a shootout. Christian Kirk will be the number 1 wide receiver with Calvin Ridley not gone. And one important part, Calvin Ridley was a red zone hog, took a lot of the attention. With him gone, I think a lot of those looks, which used to go to Ridley, should go to Christian Kirk. So you can see on the game log, he only had 3 TDs last year. I think that changes this year with Ridley gone. All right. Anything else when we get way down here that I think is interesting? Not too much. I would just say I want you to follow what's going on in the receiver room in Buffalo and the LA Chargers. Why? Because both teams have a very talented quarterback. And someone is going to be valuable among the wide receivers. It's figuring out who, because they're going to be a real bargain in week 1. My gut tells me it's Khalil Shakir. In fact, if you're getting ready for your drafts, he is my sleeper pick because he is the guy who is the incumbent. Stephon Diggs is gone. Gabe Davis is gone. So he already has the rapport with Josh Allen. Preseason reports show him playing with starters. So if he does get that starting job and is in there in even 2 receiver sets, probably in the slot, man, I like them. If you look at when he was given an opportunity last year, he did really well. Looking at the LA Chargers, man, the guy that I expect, look how far we have to go down. At $5,000 is Joshua Palmer. So he faces a Las Vegas defense that was very friendly to go against last year. And remember, gone on the Chargers is Keenan Allen. Gone is Austin Eckler. Gone is Mike Williams. Justin Herbert has to throw to somebody. I know that Harbaugh is probably going to bring a more run-oriented, but they have to pass sometimes. And I think that their number 1 wide receiver is likely to be Joshua Palmer. And if he is, this $5,000 price is ridiculous. So if you get that confirmed, I'd be all over that for week 1. All right, that's my opinion. I want to hear what you think. So put it in the comment section and be sure to check out the videos the other videos for week 1. In fact, I'll put 2 of them on the screen that I think that you'll enjoy. Until next time, take care, everybody.